So in the previous session we stopped here, that we have seen what are the governing equations that we will use for the future calculation of different criteria for design and analysis of beam, right? So we have all these equations. So I hope all of you have note down this equation, because we are going to use these equations frequently for design of beams. So let's move forward now using those governing equations. First we need to find is the depth of neutral axis. Right, so let us find out depth of neutral axis. So to find out depth of neutral axis, we are assuming that the compression and the tension force, they are equal. So our step will become total compression is equal to total tension. Now we know the value of C and T from the governing equation. So C is 0.36 FCKB into XU and T is 0.87 FYAST. So out of this, if you prepare a formula governing XU, so XU is equal to 0.87 FYAST divided by 0.36 FCK into B. Now if you convert this into XU divided by D term, if you convert this into XU divided by D, so you need to divide by D on both the sides. So 0.87 FYAST divided by 0.36 FCK B into D. We have divided the same equation by D on both the sides. Right, so this is my XU divided by D and XU value. Now you can find this XU formula in IS code also. So let us go to IS code, and if you see annexure G, for rectangular section G.1, sections without compression reinforcement, this is for under reinforced sections, right? So the moment of resistance of rectangular sections without compression reinforcement should be obtained as follow. So how to obtain moment of resistance? There are steps given. So first, determine the depth of neutral axis from the following equation. So this is the equation that we just derived in the PPT, that is XU divided by D is equal to 0.87 FYAST divided by 0.36 FCK B into D, right? So this is what we did here. This is the equation that is given in IS 456-2000 annexure G1. Next, we need to calculate a computation of moment of resistance, that is MU. So to calculate that, we have this criteria, right? Since strain in steel is greater than 0.87 Fy divided by ES plus 0.002, the computation of MU is to be done using the tensile force steel only. So in this we have this, we have to take into consideration that tensile force in steel, because here we are considering that steel will fail first, not the concrete. So MU will be tension force multiplied by lever arm. MU is equal to tension force multiplied by lever arm. So we know the value of tension force, which is 0.87 FYAST, and lever arm also we know from the governing equation, that is D minus 0.42 XU, right? So my equation will become 0.87 FYAST into D into 1 minus 0.42 XU divided by D. If I further simplify this, if I substitute this XU divided by D value from the previous equation, right? If I substitute this XU divided by D value, which I have substituted here, so 0.87 FYAST into D into 1 minus 0.42 into 0.87 FYAST divided by 0.36 FCK BD. So this value is substituted from the previous equation. So if I further simplify this, it will be 0.87 FYAST into D into 1 minus 1.015 FYAST divided by FCK BD, and ultimately it will become 0.87 FYAST into D 1 minus FYAST divided by FCK BD. So we consider this as a 1 only, right? It is very nearer to 1. So as you can see, our final equation will be something like this. MU is equal to 0.87 FYAST into D into 1 minus AST into Fy divided by FCK BD. Now let us go to IS 456-2000, same annexure G1.1, right? So point B, if the values of XU by D is less than the limiting value, calculate the moment of resistance by the following equation. So if you see this equation, MU is equal to 0.87 Fy AST into D into 1 minus AST Fy divided by BD FCK. it is similar to this equation that we have derived. So these formulas are given in IS 456 2000 also. It is good if you remember this, but it is perfectly fine if you forget this. You have the copy of code with you, you can refer it anytime you want. So this is how you calculate the moment. Now this was about the case number 1. Let's move to the case number 2. So in this case number 2, it is called a balanced rectangular beam, right? Analysis of balanced rectangular beam. So in this case, strain in steel is equal to 0.87 Fy divided by Es plus 0.002. So in the previous case it was greater than, here it is less than. So we need to draw these strain diagrams, right? So diagram will remain almost the same, right? Top value is 0.0035, then there is one more value of 0.002, then the distance is XU max, then we have a strain. Now it is equal, right? Strain in steel is equal to 0.87 Fy divided by Es plus 0.002. Now coming to the stress diagram, we have a stress in compression side is 0.446 FCK. We have a compression force at top, we have tension force at bottom, and the distance between those two is lever arm. We know the value of tension force 0.87 Fy AST, right? So this is the stress strain diagram. The only difference is that here we have a equal value. Right, here we have a equal value. Strain in steel is equal to 0.87 Fy divided by Es plus 0.002. So now the neutral axis corresponding to this condition is called limiting or maximum value. Limiting value, or in other terms you can call it maximum value also, right? XU max. From the strain diagram, again using similar triangle rule, so XU max divided by 0.0035 is equal to D minus XU max divided by 0.87 Fy divided by Es plus 0.002. So if you simplify this equation, it will become D minus 1 minus XU max by D, 0.87 Fy divided by Es plus 0.002. Now if you multiply this, D goes down, so XU max divided by D is equal to 0.0035, and the other equations will remain same. So XU max by D, you multiply this over here, right? So XU max by D multiply by 0.87 Fy divided by Es plus 0.002, it will become this equation, right? And if you further simplify this, you will get your XU max divided by D, you will get your XU max divided by D value in terms of this equation, which is 0.0035 divided by 0.87 Fy divided by Es plus 0.005. This is your XU max divided by D value. Now using this equation, we can find this XU max by D value. The important point to observe here is that this XU max divided by D value is dependent on grade of steel only. So if you know the grade of steel, you can easily calculate the XU max divided by D value using this equation, which is given in the box of yellow color, right? Now let us calculate that what is the value of XU max divided by D for Fe415 grade steel. What is the value of XU max by D for Fe415 grade steel? So let me just write down here. So XU max by D will become 0.0035 divided by 0.87 multiplied by 415, because Fy is 415, divided by Es. So Es is equal to 2 into 10 raised to 5 plus 0.0055. So if you calculate this value, if you solve this, just let me solve this in the calculator. So you can also solve this, right? So if you solve this, I am getting my answer as I'm getting my answer as 0.48. You can verify this answer. Right? You will get around 0.48 if you consider all the decimal points, right? XU max divided by D for different grade of steel. So how these values are coming? So these values are coming using this equation which is been derived over here from the balanced section. This is the maximum value that we can have. Now this values are given in IS 456 2000 also. So let me just go to the IS code and just let me find out those values. So these values are here in IS 456 2000 for your reference. So just let me go to the page. Again, I just forgot the page number. I'm just going to the page where you can find the values of XU max divided by D. Yes, here it is, page number 70, right? So as you can see here, for different grade of steel, 250, 415 and 500, the values are 0.53, 0.48 and 0.46 for Fe 500, right? So this is how you can calculate those values, and if you do not remember these values directly, you can calculate using the formula that we have derived, right? So let's go back to our annexure G for the formulas what we are taking. Okay, right? So this is the important stuff to be remembered. This can be asked in your exams, right? What is XU max by D? So if you do not remember direct values, you can use this equation XU max by D. So these are the values I have taken from IS 456 2000. Now next is limiting moment of resistance. MU limiting also we need to calculate, right? MU limiting. So this is the maximum bending moment that a section can resist, and it is computed as MU limiting is equal to C into Z, compression force multiplied by lever arm. So 0.36 FCK B into XU max multiplied by D minus 0.42 XU max. So again you convert this XU max in terms of XU max by D. So 0.36 FCK BD into XU max into 1 minus 0.42 XU max by D. Again you divide the equation by D. So 0.36 FCK XU max by D become here, and 1 minus 0.42 XU max by D BD square. So now this portion which I am going to box out here. So this part which is I am writing in the box of red color, this red color box you can replace it by R limiting. You can replace it by R limiting value. So R limiting multiplied by BD square. R limiting multiplied by BD square. So as you can see, this R limiting value again it depends on two parameters only, which is grade of concrete and grade of steel. If you know the grade of concrete and grade of steel, you can easily calculate R limiting value. If you know the grade of concrete and grade of steel, you can easily calculate the R limiting value, and plus you know the dimension of your section. If you know the dimension of your section, you can easily calculate the maximum bending moment that section can carry. So let us see that. So R limiting is equal to 0.36 FCK XU max by D into 1 minus 0.42 XU max by D is known as limiting resistance factor, right? It is known as limiting resistance factor. So in the exams, many times it is asked that find out the limiting resistance factor for say different grade of concrete and different grade of steel. So this is the formula. So try to remember this and try to note down these formulas also. So next important thing is limiting area of steel, that is AST limiting. So this is the maximum amount of area of steel that can be provided in the section and is computed as C is equal to T. So 0.36 FCK B into XU max is equal to 0.87 FY AST limiting So again divide by d on both the sides, so axiom x by d over here and A steel limiting divide by d on the right hand side. And if you convert this in terms of this formula, which is A steel limiting divided by BD is equal to 0.36 FCK axiom x by d divided by 0.87 Fy. Now this is usually expressed in terms of percentage. So A steel limiting divided by BD multiplied by 100 is equal to 0.36 FCK axiom x by d divided by 0.87 Fy multiplied by 100. So if we want to convert this into percentage, we are multiplying it by 100 on both the sides. So this term, that is A steel limiting divided by BD into 100, this is the formula for finding out the percentage of steel. So this is the formula for PT. This is the formula for PT. So I can replace this term by PT, which I did here. So PT limiting will become 0.36 FCK axiom x by d divided by 0.87 Fy into 100. So you need to remember these equations, right, as far as possible, because in the exams it can be asked that find out the limiting percentage steel for M20 grade concrete and Fe415 grade steel. So again, this limiting percentage of steel is independent of dimensions. If you do not know the dimensions of your section, then also you can find out the limiting percentage of steel, that is maximum PT that we can provide. So this PT value is purely dependent on grade of concrete and grade of steel. Now let us see for M20 grade concrete and Fe415 grade steel. So FCK is M20, Fy is 415, axiom x by d for Fe415 grade steel we just now calculated from IS 456, which is 0.48. So if you substitute these values, first we'll find out the limiting resistance, that R is 0.36 FCK axiom x by d, 1 minus 0.42 axiom x by d. So if you put all these values here, you get your limiting resisting factor as 2.76. And if you want to find out the limiting percentage of steel, limiting PT, so our equation is 0.36 FCK axiom x by d divided by 0.87 Fy multiplied by 100. So if you substitute all these values, you will get your PT limiting value as 0.96. This is for M20 grade and Fe415 grade steel. Similarly, you can find for all grades of concrete and all grades of steel, and if you can remember direct values, it can save a lot of time in the exams. So this is how you calculate your R limiting and PT limiting. So this completes our case number 2, and let's move to the case number 3 now. So our case number 3 is for over reinforced rectangular beams. So in this over reinforced rectangular beam, strain in steel is less than 0.87 Fy divided by Es plus 0.002. So let us understand the logic that what is actually happening. So in the first case, this strain in steel was greater than 0.87 Fy divided by Es plus 0.002. So meaning of that is that whatever tension force is coming at the bottom part of your beam, most of the tension force is transferred in the steel members, not in concrete members. So strain in steel is greater than the strain value that is prescribed by the code, that is 0.87 Fy divided by Es plus 0.002. So case number 1 gives you the ductile behavior. Case number 2 is for balanced section, that means we are finding the maximum values that we can afford. And third is over reinforced beam, in that what is happening, strain in steel is not reaching to its ultimate value and the tension force is not transferred to the steel and it is getting transferred to the concrete member, which is very dangerous. So our member is becoming brittle. So this is the fundamental difference between all these 3 cases. So let us see case number 3 now. So in this case, XU is greater than XU max, right? It is going above the maximum limiting value. So when concrete reaches the strain of 0.0035, the tensile strain of steel is much less than 0.87 Fy divided by Es plus 0.002. Right? So concrete is reaching its full value 0.0035, but the tensile strain in steel is not reaching to that value, and any further any further increase of strain of steel will mean failure of concrete, which is to be avoided. Therefore, such design is avoided and the section should be redesigned. Mostly this type of over-enforced designs are avoided and we need to redesign it to make it under-enforced section. So let us understand these three cases in terms of strain diagram. So this is a strain diagram for different cases. As you can see, top value is 0.0035 and bottom value, our limiting value, our base case value is 0.87 Fy divided by ES plus 0.002. In the first case, what is happening, that this is case number 1, blue color line, this XU max you are getting, right? This is another case, green color line, in that you will get XU. So blue color line is for balanced section, blue color line is for balanced section, right? And the green color line is for under-enforced section. So if you can see under-enforced section, the strain in steel is far greater than this limiting value, right? The strain in steel is far greater than the limiting value, and this is the red color line is the thing which we must avoid on site, which is the over-enforced section. In this case, you can see this is the base value and the strain in steel is not reaching to the ultimate limit, but the strain in concrete has reached to its ultimate limit. So as you can see, the XU value, neutral axis, has reached in the tension zone, bottom part, right? XU for the third case, right? So this is how graphical representation can help you understand what is actually happening. So to summarize, case number 1, under-enforced section, XU is less than XU max, right? In the case number 1, XU is less than XU max. Our moment of resistance formula as per IS 456-2000 is mu is equal to 0.87 Fy AST into D into 1 minus AST Fy divided by FCK BD. In the case number 2, that is for balanced section, XU is equal to XU max, and the formula for that is mu limiting is equal to 0.36 XU max divided by D into 1 minus 0.42 XU max by D BD square FCK. You can find this formula in the IS code also, I guess. Yes, here it is. Point C, if the values of XU by D is equal to limiting value, the moment of resistance of the section is given by the following equation, which we have just seen in the PPT. So this is the equation which is given in annexure G 1.1. And for case number 3, which is for over-enforced section, XU is greater than XU max. In this case, XU is limited to XU max and mu is equal to mu limiting. So whenever we are going to design this over-enforced section, in this case we are going to calculate, take the value of XU as XU max and take the value of mu as mu limiting. So similar formula will be here for case number 2. It will be used in case number 3 also. Right? So this is how we are going to analyze our beams or differentiate our beams in 3 different cases: over-enforced, balanced and under-enforced section. So out of these 3, the most preferred type of section that we use on site is under-enforced section wherever possible. At certain unavoidable cases only we are going to design our section as an over-enforced section. Alright, so I hope I am adding value to your learning procedure. So thank you so much for joining me in this session. From the next session we try to solve some examples using these equations that we have derived and which are given in IS 456-2000. So see you in the next session.